What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? We are Thursday, June 12th. Dustin and I are coming to you live from Millsboro, Delaware at the moment. And we have our 999 Survivor. If you guys were not following along, if you're not Huckleberries, Brian put on an impressive performance. I got to give it to you.
I appreciate that very much. I was impressed with myself because I really thought I was going to go down in flames. And I didn't really start feeling it until like the seventh inning, like mid-seventh. But my strategy worked out pretty good. Just chug a hot dog right at the beginning of the inning. And then you get to casually drink the beer. I only went with like 4 or 5 condiments. I went 1 mustard, 1 ketchup, 1 relish, 1 ranch, which is so random.
That was probably bad.
And 1 barbecue sauce. I was taking everything that we had in the suite. And
You should have started putting those chip dips on them. So when you got towards the end, was it the hot dogs or the beers that were harder?
It was the dogs, without a doubt. Just like I anticipated, it was without a doubt the dogs. The 8th inning and 9th inning were tough, especially that 9th inning. You guys saw me kind of laboring a little bit. I had like that hunch over kind of stance. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, look, the best part of it is all the boys were together. We had a good time, a lot of smiles, just Mr. Banks was killer. He bought me a little hot dog.
Yeah.
It looks like a little dachshund, and I named him Banks. He's in the house right now. So it was a lot of fun, man.
Hell yeah.
So you're telling me the wieners were the hardest part?
Without a doubt. The beer was nothing. The beer was cake. It was definitely the dogs.
Yeah, if I was doing the challenge, I've never done the 999 challenge, but I definitely wouldn't want hard wieners. More of a soft wiener guy.
He likes flaccid wieners. Yeah.
Flaccid wieners. Yeah, those were the perfect hot dogs to do it because like the bread kind of like got soggy and like got really, I don't know. They were easier to eat than like your normal, like real big, thick, fluffy bun.
You could have pulled the Joey Chestnut move and just started dunking your beer or your hot dog into your beer.
I tried that as a test run, and I took 1 bite of a bun, and I almost vomited.
Okay.
So I knew I wasn't doing that at all.
If you guys are watching and Brian, let us know if Brian's cutting in and out here at times because he is on our end, but I think it might just be our end.
I think it's our Wi-Fi here.
So just let us know if that's happening on your end. If it's happening on our end and it's just our end, I don't really give a shit as long as it looks good to you guys.
Yeah, sorry, fellas. Not trying to. My Wi-Fi is pretty strong here. You guys are coming through just fine.
Yeah, it's probably our end, but I'm just making sure it looks good for the viewers. But I was gonna say, man, like I was super impressed. Like, I mean, it seemed like you were getting through that pretty easily there for a while.
Through like the 5th inning, it seemed like it was going to be no problem at all. And honestly, the way we were talking beforehand, I didn't think you were going to get past the 5th or 6th inning.
Oh, dude, I was like dancing around, jiving, slapping hands, having a good time, getting accosted by Delaware Dave verbally, like whatever, and having a great time. And then that 8th inning, it was like, okay, here's a gut kick. And
you guys, I don't know if you guys were watching, if you're watching right now, but yeah, that last beer that he had to drink, that last sip of that beer, I mean, it must have taken him at least 5 minutes to drink that last half a beer, right? Like that was.
And let's talk about it a little bit because Delaware Dave was being a super stickler on this, so he basically made him drink a beer and a half / 2 beers as his final beer, and he got it down.
He kept pouring it for you.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, that 7th inning was long for whatever reason. I can't remember what the hell was going on because I was so focused on like just saying mentally focused on the dogs and the beers. That 7th inning was long, and that's when it settled in my stomach, and that's when the 8th and 9th inning really hurt the shit out of me. But I never threw up. I went to the bathroom twice, and I consistently talked while I was in the bathroom so that people knew I wasn't vomiting. That way you
Yeah, I haven't even gotten a chance to watch it back and clip up some of the stuff yet. We'll start releasing some stuff here in the coming weeks and stuff like that. Maybe to just to some members only first, and then we'll release it to the general public. some funny moments, but I don't even know. Like, we didn't even get a chance to do a mic check or anything like that. So who knows how it all came out in terms of, obviously you could hear us, but the mics were supposed to make it better. We'll see if they were actually working correctly or not. But it seemed like everybody watching could hear and everything like that. So
And we're degenerates. We were eating hot dogs before we did the 999. Like, that's
you
crazy.
had 2 at the dive, and shout out to the dive.
Yeah. Shout out to the dive, by the way. How awesome was that, guys?
That was great. I mean, and the fact that we had Cabbage on talking golf, we had Peter Ennie on, who's all the people that came on were awesome. And then we had Steve Papadopoulos come on cold turkey, had no idea what the fucking draft was, and just started ripping nostalgic items.
Oh, he killed it. Dum Dum Lollipops was his first pick.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's nostalgia in a lollipop.
I mean, every haircut you get, like a lot of times when you go through like the bank drive-through, they'll give you a Dum Dum lollipop. So I mean, I remember all that.
They still have those?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, Banks gets them after his haircuts.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that they keep that. That's a still thing. That's good. But yeah, shout out to the dive. Shout out to On Your Six and Scotty's. Thank you guys for helping us out and making that happen.
Dan Moore, awesome dude. It's good times. Yeah. I love like the banter going back and forth. I know people couldn't see them they were off camera, but they would just be like contributing to the podcast while we're sitting there on camera. So shout out to everybody. Yeah. Everyone had a great time, and I was just so happy we all got together at the suite. The only disappointing part of the day was the establishment we went to before the game was a little squirrely. I'll put it that way.
It always is.
A little.
We knew what we were getting ourselves into. Okay. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, we won't throw anyone under the bus, I guess, but yeah, it got a little weird. But also another disappointment. The Orioles lost.
I know,
which sucked, right?
Yeah,
it sucked.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole game. They tried to make a comeback at the end, granted, but the whole game we were down, and so that was a little bit of a disappointment. But that's not the important part. The important part was that we got to hang out with our friends and our family, and everyone got to be together. So yeah, it was a really great week, really great day in Baltimore that day. I will say this: the drive back to Ocean City yesterday morning, not quite as fun.
Where'd you sleep? What'd you guys do after the game?
We went to Pig and Rooster. A couple of us for longer than others.
I heard you guys. Some of you guys got after it.
I was relatively tame. I would say I didn't go too hard. Me and I left with the tall guy, Chris Merrick. I slept on an air mattress in his in his basement. It was which was really nice. Thank you, Chris, once again for putting me up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And like 20 minutes after we got home from there, we started getting videos of our degenerate friends who were still at the Pig and Rooster ripping shots and Dr. Peppers. And I was like, I'm so glad that I didn't stay there any longer than I did, because that drive yesterday morning was already bad enough. I can't imagine how it would have been.
Katie looked at me. She goes, you hang out with the boys. I'm going to go home. I was like, okay.
Yeah, obviously my wife and Banks got out of there after the game.
Yeah.
So
completely reasonable thing to do.
But what happened on your drive home?
Nothing. It just, it was like 7:30 in the morning, and I forgot that Baltimore traffic. No, I didn't yak. I forgot that Baltimore traffic existed. So I left at 7:30 thinking, all right, I'm going to get back to the beach by like 10. And it took me like an hour and a half just to get to the Bay Bridge, because I had to like go through all that bullshit and going through the tunnel. And then finally you get on 97, and for like 5 miles, you're going 70 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden 97 just turns into a fucking parking lot. And I still don't understand why it happens. But yeah, it's
Where in Delaware? I forgot the name of the town that your parents are living in.
Millsboro. We're about 15 minutes from like Rehoboth and Dewey and Lewis. Yeah,
about a 45-minute drive to West Ocean City.
Yeah,
I was wondering if because you said you went to Bay Bridge. I don't know if it was quicker to go around the.
Yeah, so I actually went home. I went back to West O, and then I drove up here a couple hours later. Yeah, I went home, took a shower, and got my life together a little bit, and then came up and hung out with the fam the rest of the night. So
yeah, Dusty. I can't remember if I told you or not, but myself and Katie are coming out to Bethany in mid-July, and maybe we'll pop by and see you if you're working or if you just want to hang out with us, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, if it's mid-July, that's right in the middle of the season. I'll be working for sure, but we'll see. We'll see if we can link up and get some beers or something.
Yeah, we're staying in a development called Ocean View. So, buddy's got a big house. Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
But man, that was a lot of fun. I had a blast. And the dive, if we said it a bunch the other day, go to the dive. It is such a great spot, food-wise, nostalgia-wise. People, they're just amazing people. It's an amazing time. It's in a good part of Baltimore in Canton. So this, that was one of the best. It's probably my favorite podcast we did, without a doubt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. I mean, just because it was, I mean, not only like the setup and everything you said, Peter was awesome. That's the first time I've met Peter. First time I've been to the dive, actually, because I mean, that opened after I left town. So usually when I'm back in town, I'm going to my regular watering holes. But yeah, that place was really cool. And I couldn't say enough about Peter. He did a great job entertaining my son the entire time, who was off the rails in terms of, I mean, you got to keep him distracted like constantly. Yeah. He literally set up he put him at the bar, set up a Pac-Man game on the TV, and he could play it on the TV behind the bar from the bar with his little joystick. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. And then he went outside and let Bang Scout there and help him power wash like the building and the sidewalk and stuff like it was awesome.
That's awesome.
He was really good with my son, so I can't say enough good things about him. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, great. And I think your son Banks thinks that Cabbage is the best Pac-Man player of all time.
Probably.
Well, maybe he is. Do you know? I don't know. We don't know much about Cabbage's past. He could be a Pac-Man connoisseur. We don't even know.
He could be Kaiser Sose.
Cabbage Sose. Yeah.
Cabbage Sose. But yeah, back to the game, man. Like watching, I mean, it was kind of hard to watch and do all the content stuff and everything like that at the same time. But from what I watched that game, I mean, the Tigers are obviously one of the top 3 teams record-wise in the league, if not the top, just depending on the days. They did not feel like one of the better teams in the league. And then you watch the game last night, obviously, which we'll get into that. But the night that we were there, I was not very impressed with them. I felt really good about some of the fight that we had late in the game, like we've had for the last few weeks or month or whatever it's been. And I mean, they tried to make a little comeback. They made it exciting. Obviously fell up short, and same issues with runners in scoring position, but
obviously,
I don't know. I'm feeling more optimistic. I'm already pretty optimistic. I'm feeling more optimistic. And then you see last night's game where they kind of explode there late in the game. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. Yeah. Eflin starting the deal. I mean, 3 in a row that he's had great starts. So what do you guys thought? Did you get to watch it at all, Brian? I know Dustin and I watched it together, but
I had to work a lot last night, and I was not busy, but I was occupied enough that I couldn't really focus on the game. But I did get to catch a couple of the big highlights, and I mean, from what I got to see, they looked good. They had fight. You guys can obviously fill me in a little bit more. Did we move runners over in scoring position? I know we hit a couple bombs. It's good having Weston back and him doing his thing, because I always firmly believe that he is the engine of the team. And you guys can fight me on that one if you think I'm wrong.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that statement. I will say this, though: early in the game, we were still struggling with the runners in scoring position, although we were still putting up a few runs across the board, but. I think at one point last night we were 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position through 3 or 4 innings, and then late in the game we finally get those hits that we need to get. O'Hearn hit that high fastball after those 2 sick changeups that I can't remember the pitcher's name.
No, but I actually really liked his stuff. Me and you were talking about it. I mean, O'Hearn just had a better at bat, but that dude had a nasty changeup. But speaking of O'Hearn, I think you need to go into a little backstory.
Yeah, so
a little story time with Dusty.
Yeah, so my new roommate Chad, had a viral thing last year, exchanged with Ryan O'Hearn, where he put a bet on him, and he always bets on him and Mountcastle. He calls it the day of Ryan, and he does it 3 times a week. So the day of Ryan 3 times a week. Yeah. So anyway, he gets frustrated after the day of Ryan fails for like the 3rd day in a row last season, and he decides to hop into Ryan O'Hearn's DMs and say, "What the hell, dude? You suck," or something like that. Like, I can't believe you didn't hit this parlay. And you guys have probably seen it last year. Ryan O'Hearn responds, "I really don't give a shit about your parlay," that kind of shit. So he's had this little feud with Ryan O'Hearn. Yeah. So this was last season. Cut to the other night, my buddy texts me the day of Ryan while I'm at the game, obviously, but Mountcastle's out, so he just took O'Hearn. He said, I mean, we were in left field watching the game, so, you can't really see where the pitches are. But O'Hearn had a rough night. He struck out a few times looking, according to my roommate, on belt-high fastballs. And he says, how many times is this motherfucker going to strike out on belt-high fastballs? And so I post a picture or an Instagram post yesterday of our group at the game and like all the pictures from the group chat from the game. And he comments on it and he tags Ryan O'Hearn. How many more belt-high fastballs are you going to take for strike 3 tonight or something like that? And O'Hearn responds after the game, I didn't even strike out today, you dingus, kick rocks or something like that. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just so funny. My buddy screenshotted it immediately and texted me. It was just like, there's no way I'm living rent free in this guy's head or something like that.
Dude, the dude's gonna be a fucking all-star. He's betting.
I know. He might.
I mean, he's dropped like 30+ percentage points over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
batting average.
But he did have that clutch hit last night that kept the inning alive, and then Westy Park won over on the little left field pesky pole, like Brooks pointed out last night. You see that little jut in right where the foul pole is. It's pretty short down that left field line right there, which is pretty cool. It gives I think the stadium dimensions, because we haven't talked about that a lot. No. I think that is much improved over the last few seasons when the wall was real far back in left field.
Well, I think it was worse like when it was further back. Well, I mean, I don't think the foul pole has changed in terms of where it's at. I think it's always when they moved it back, they jetted it straight back and then over, and then they've moved it in. I just noticed it last night when Westbrook hit that ball down the line for some reason. I'm like, that's like a nice little, if you could hook one around that, like that's a little pesky pole out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still probably it's got to be 330. I would hope.
I think it says 333 on the.
It says 333.
Yeah.
333. Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's as far as the dimensions of the park go. I think it's been a much bigger. I think it's a big improvement over the last couple of years. I don't know if it's as good as the original wall. The short porch in left field was always kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, the way the ball flies off the bat these days with these guys and their exit velocities and launch angle, I think it's probably a good thing. It also helps out the pitching staff, but yeah, I just
sign pitchers if we want to in free agency, because now you actually have a little bit of a cush.
Yeah.
So,
what about this new premium club that they just announced?
Is that
they're putting where the press box area is.
Yeah, what is going on there? I saw this.
I saw the text. I didn't get a chance to really, retain all the information you guys sent. So I don't know. I mean, and all those guys probably know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a ton of info on it. They're basically turning the whole press box area, like they're making it like basically floor to ceiling, like glass right there. And it's like it almost looks like a food court kind of area, like a sitting area where you can go eat, drink. And you can just look outside there. They're calling it the Premium Club. I'm sure there's going to be a bar and stuff like that and everything back there, but I don't know any more details besides that. And I think they're moving the press box, they said, down the third base line.
Okay. This strikes me as something they do in San Diego, where they have the metal building. It's out in left field. They have something similar to that, and it's like got a bar in it, high top tables. It's got like foosball tables and pool tables, and it's basically an entertainment area where you can go and just do other things while also watching a baseball game if you want.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
wondering.
It sounds like to me.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're going to need like a ticket to it to get into that area, or if you can just go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
It could be in a rent, almost like renting a suite. It could be that, like a corporate space kind of deal.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Anders in our suite? during the game.
Who's Anders?
Our sweet attendant.
Oh, is that his name?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, he's awesome, dude. So for those you don't know, I used to be one of the supervisors on the suite level, and Anders was always there, and he's a character, man. He really is
awesome, man.
And as soon as I walked in the door, he was like, Brooks, it's like, you haven't changed it yet.
Like, you look exactly the same.
I was like, all right, I'll take that as a compliment. I haven't seen you in like 12 years. Maybe 15. I don't even know when that was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was super cool. I remember we were shotgunning beers in the suite, which I'm not sure if you're supposed to do. But
he walked in.
He was just like, "What's going on?"
People are shotgunning beers. Brian's like got 12 hot dogs.
Hunched over after his 11th hot dog. Yeah.
Come into a suite, it's the fucking dude ranch in there. It's a bunch of dicks.
I think he had a lot of fun. Actually, every time he walked in there, he was just cracking up.
Yeah.
I think that's why he paid so close attention to us. He was like, I'd rather hang out with you guys.
I don't think he wanted to work. He just wanted to hang out with us. It was awesome.
Oh man,
because he used to exclusively do the owners suite.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
And he willingly, I guess, got out of that years ago, just because I guess it's always a set tip there. And he wanted a little bit more upside. So
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I was getting drunk, and because I was drinking 9 beers and I was eating hot dogs, so I wasn't really paying attention. Did we take care of them? Did we tip them? Did we do everything we were supposed to do?
Yeah. Do you think our crew would let him go? Yeah, we're good. We're all good on that. Drew took care of him, and Drew has been in the service industry for a long time as well. Yeah. So we're not worried about that at all.
I mean, Christ, I've had to talk him out of some ridiculous tips before when he's been blacked out drunk. Yeah. Especially the Uber driver. He tried to give an Uber driver $1,000 one night.
I remember this story.
And I was like, dude, no, stop.
Like him like I'm 20.
Maniac.
Oh,
maniac.
Man. Anyway.
On the topic of baseball, while we're talking about the baseball game, Corbin Burns. I mean, look, I understand he's not an Oriole anymore, but that stinks, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, with the TJ. Yeah, it does suck. We saw it maybe like 2 weeks ago when he came off the mound and said his elbow was done. Initially, it looked like he had kind of avoided a serious injury. It looked like they were just thinking it was inflammation, but obviously, you get second opinions, and it looks like, I don't know if he's undergone TJ or he's undergoing TJ at some point.
Announced that he is,
but it's been announced, yeah. So he's likely going to be out for the rest of this year, most of next year, if not the whole season. This is a complete disaster for the Diamondbacks, who have been snake bitten when trying to sign pitchers forever. I think they had that one Greinke deal that worked out for them, but other than that, the Mad Bum deal was bad. The Erod deal last year has not worked out for them at all. Obviously, the Jordan Montgomery stuff is a complete disaster. So it's been a rough go of it for the D-backs signing pitchers. What's up, Antonio? How you doing, buddy?
Antonio.
How you doing?
We gotta get Antonio back on the show at some point.
We got to get Antonio back on, man. And Antonio's dad, Russ, thank you so much. He gave me tickets to tonight's game. So
oh yeah,
nice.
Try to take this game. No. Section 230. But
I mean, you get to go watch Scooble pitch against Keegan Aiken.
Oh yeah. By the way, Keegan Aiken opener for the Orioles tonight. It was supposed to be Dean Kramer. It looks like Aiken's going to open. I don't know if Kramer is coming in afterwards. We don't really know what's going on. Kramer has been struggling of late. The Orioles did this earlier in the season with Charlie Morton when he was struggling. Get the opener in there, maybe take a little bit of the pressure of the beginning of the game off of him. I don't know if that's what they're thinking. We'll see how it works out. Do you like the decision? And obviously, we'll talk about Tarek Skubal. We talked about him at length in this podcast, but
I don't even know how to feel about it because you told me about it right before we went on live. Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know either because I like you said, because the only reason I don't know is Kramer coming in after him. Like, what's the plan? We just haven't had enough time to look into it properly quite yet. But I mean, again, I'm a Keegan Aiken fan, and I have been for a while now, and I've kind of been a supporter of his. In terms of beating the drum for him and giving him shout outs, but he did a good job last time, I believe, when he was out there the last 2 times, whatever it was. So, I mean, if it works, it fucking works,
Yeah, I'd want to know the methodology. I want to know the game plan in order to give a real opinion because right now I have no fucking idea.
And the other thing is like it's got to be Kramer coming in afterwards, because if you're gonna do this, why not just call up Rogers to make the start at this point?
Yeah, exactly. And you took the words out of my mouth, Brooks.
It wouldn't make much sense, so it has to be that.
Brian Rogers.
What?
Or Trevor Rogers.
Trevor Rogers.
Okay.
Did I say right? Yeah,
he just said Rogers.
You don't want this ring.
God no.
I'm throwing the Ephus pitch.
Dusty and I were throwing the ball around yesterday, and we were like, all right, this is this is going on a little too long. We need to save. We don't want tomorrow to make us feel like a complete bag of dicks.
Yeah, my shoulder can't handle a lot of that stuff anymore, man.
And then we had our 70-year-old dad throwing the pelota around as well, throwing the pill around. So I was like, all right, we all need to relax here. Okay.
One last thing just on the Orioles. Adley Rutschman, I wanted to talk about him. Over his last 7 games, he's hitting .346. Last 15, .278, getting up there, plus over 100 or 800 OPS on base plus slugging. Looks like he's starting to get into a little bit of a groove. And obviously would be a much welcome spark to the lineup after the slow start and the slow finish he had to last year and the slow start that he had to this year. Have you seen anything specifically from him, from his approach, that would lead you to believe that this is going to continue? Or is this one of those things where he's just getting hot right now? What do you guys feel?
How I feel is he strikes me as a more, and I hate to bring this name up because he's a better player than the person I'm going to reference him.
The sheriff?
Mark Reynolds. He has these hot streaks where he just goes on a ripper. And then all of a sudden he goes on a cold streak, and then a ripper, and a cold streak. So that's why I want to be wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's been talking about this the past week with him getting rid of the toe tap and simplifying some movements a lot and all that stuff, which is all good because he's starting to actually make some contact on balls that I shouldn't say he wasn't really missing them, but he was either popping out or fouling them off. He's actually, obviously those balls are going in play. He's getting hits out of them now. He's kind of simplifying. I mean, between that, and we've had a ton of people get healthy here over the past week and a half. I mean, that just, even if they're not playing well, and they are, they're probably not playing to their potential quite yet. But I mean, that gives them a little bit more safety in the lineup too.
Yeah.
So,
and with that, with your point to all these guys getting healthy, obviously decisions like this are going to have to come up. Laura comments, if you guys are just listening, let's talk about Kjerstad being sent down. Yeah, look, Kowser gets healthy, Mullins gets healthy, Westberg comes back up. There's not as many spots on the roster. We were talking about it the other night. I don't know if it was on camera or not. Do we think that Kjerstad got a fair shake because he was getting pretty inconsistent at bats? But I mean, the production hasn't quite been there. Obviously, the defense is not where you want it to be, especially not up to the standard of Kowser or Mullins. What do you guys think about just the whole thing in general? And I know this is our boy Arkansas Joe's territory here with the Kjerstad stuff.
Joe's going to come on in a little bit, and he's going to talk about it. Hey, look, Kjerstad, great hitter, terrible defender. I mean, watching him in the outfield is absolutely atrocious. I hate to say that because I want him to succeed, and I mean, we took him up with the 2nd overall pick out of Arkansas, but he was not getting consistent at bats. That is so hard. Go to AAA, get a bunch of consistent at bats. Come on up, help us out in the second half of the season.
Yeah, are you surprised?
It could be Kobe Mayo, and
I was going to say, are you surprised that it was him and not Mayo?
Well, Mayo's actually he's picked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Not that he's ripping the cover off the ball, but it's we've seen a little improvement.
And I also wonder if this has to do with like how many options Kjerstad has compared to Mayo, because we've sent Mayo down 3 or 4 times, maybe.
Yeah, my other thing, my opinion here is this is a very temporary thing, especially with. I mean, do we really feel confident that like Laureano is going to stay this hot the rest of the year? Carlson, stuff like that. I think he's going to be back up after one of these guys goes cold.
I would think You know,
agree.
It's gonna be Carlson because Laureano I don't think has any options.
barring us getting super hot, I think
Laureano's
Laureano
headed, yeah.
one of the prime trade deadline guys, especially if he keeps up this hot streak. I mean, he's a good defensive outfielder, good enough at least. He's got a cannon for an arm, and he's been hitting tanks, right? I mean,
He's got a cannon for an arm, but the guy struggles to hit cutoffs.
Well, when you got a cannon for an arm, you want to show it off, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, we're giving up free bases left and right. He has gotten better about it throughout the season, but I mean, beginning of the year was rough.
I had a couple comments go right through my head that I'm not going to say live on air. I just don't want to say them.
But
are we trying to get Mayo more major league reps? Yeah, I think so.
I think so, especially when you're seeing some improvement with it.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Why would you send him back down when he's starting to make a little bit of improvement? That's just going to hurt his confidence again.
And at this point, like, how much more does the guy need to prove? He's the best AAA hitter in the history of ever, right? Like, we don't need him to go back down there and prove it again. He's going to go back down there and he's going to have 1,000 OPS, and then he's going to come back up.
Same thing with Kerstad.
Let him get some consistent at bats, right?
Same thing with Kerstad. That's why I think it's very temporary.
Yeah,
I like Crash Davis too, man. But come on, you got to do some talent in the majors, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Long legs and brains, baby. Yeah.
I mean, and this is going to become a whole lot more convoluted as well when O'Neill ends up making his track back, and Gary Sanchez is still on rehab assignment. I wonder if they're just going to keep him on a rehab assignment for the next month and a half.
I'm taking a 2-minute timeout. Every time you bring up Gary Sanchez, I'm out for a minute.
Well, look,
right. I was not happy about the signing. I'm just letting you know that he is on a rehab assignment. He started at the same time as Westberg or Laureano, one or the other, and he's still down there making his rehab assignment at bats. So
and also the backup catcher right now, Maverick
I can feel Pigtown beating his desk right now. You bring up Gary Sanchez.
Well, I don't like it either. That's why I'm like, why is he still down there? They're gonna make him do a month and a half rehab assignment.
Look, I mean, the guy who came up to replace him as the backup catcher, Maverick Hanley, has not been performing. Let's just call it what it is. He's hitting less than 100. What are you expecting out of the guy? I get it, but like, I mean, look, you can say all you want about Gary Sanchez, but he's going to hit over the Mendoza line, right?
Maybe he's not. He hasn't so far. I mean, I know it's very limited at bats, but he hasn't so far.
When your batting average has a 0 in the beginning of it, it's not good.
Yeah. Antonio asked if the Orioles could only get one player on the All-Star team, who should it be? Probably O'Hearn, yeah.
I would go O'Hearn.
If Eflin didn't miss time, you could argue him, maybe.
It's O'Hearn or Jackson, probably at this point.
And
it's O'Hearn, Jackson, Holiday.
And Mullins missed some time too, and he was cold there right before he missed some time. Sure. So,
because I mean, for a period of time there, I think we were talking about it, Antonio. We were thinking about maybe Sagano being a possible All-Star, having that 3 ERA dealing. On a side note, and this has nothing to do with the Orioles, but pitching. How about Paul Skeens being 4-6 with a 1.8 ERA? And his whip is, I think, below 1. And he might win the Cy Young with a losing record.
He probably will.
I mean, yeah, he should.
Rough, man.
Remember when if everything holds, if this keeps going on, he should.
I think DeGrom had a similar situation to this when he won his second straight Cy Young back in the day.
He was like 12 and 10, I think.
Yeah, he went like 10 and 12 or 12 and 10, something like that, and had like a 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. What do you expect out of the guy?
The frustration level that man must have has got to be incredible.
I mean, going 8 innings and giving up 1 and losing the game, that's just got to be so mentally tough, especially for such a young guy, right? I mean, what is he, 23, 24 years old?
But it's really easy to be like, yeah, I mean, why does he care? I mean, he's putting up the numbers, he's blah, 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 right? He's performing, he's doing his job, but you could see like how frustrated he actually is. The guy wants to win. He seems like a great team guy. So, I mean, Pittsburgh, put something around him or get rid of him.
People around him.
I mean, honestly, I would love Pittsburgh. I would love to see Pittsburgh get back to being good. I would love them to try to put some stuff around them. With that being said, like with good pitching on the mind right here, and as much as we bashed the Orioles bullpen when they had a rough couple weeks, 3 weeks probably, whatever it ended up being, their last 2 weeks or whatever, one run in the last 24 innings or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
And our bullpen hasn't done that since 2015. They were saying last night on the broadcast. I gotta give them some props there. They turned it back around pretty quickly. They sacked up a little bit for us and have really held the line.
That 2015 bullpen was nasty too. Zach Britton, Darren O'Day, Brad Brock. Maybe throw Andrew Miller in there. I'm not sure if he's on that team.
I can't remember.
He's only for half a year.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, that's 3 All-Stars just sitting there right at the back of that bullpen.
I think Darren O'Day was on that squad.
Not to mention TJ McFarland as the long relief man, who's still pitching, by the way. Made a start this week. Yeah.
For who, the Rockies?
Probably. The Rockies, the Reds, I don't know. Some team that doesn't matter.
I never understood how that guy was.
Yeah. He gets outs, man.
He does.
Him and Wade Miley both. Wade Miley still.
Speaking of tall left-handers, how's our boy Mesa doing?
He's been hurt for he was on the 60-day IL as of April 29th or something, like end of April.
Shoulder?
So he's still on the shoulder.
Sucks.
So
unfortunate.
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know when he's scheduled to come back. I assume probably after the All-Star break, but he hasn't pitched much this season.
Arkansas Joe, this one's for you, I assume. Brian, how many times have you pooped since the challenge?
Ooh,
3. And
only
one
3?
yesterday was only 3, and that's very odd for me because normally I'm a 3-time-a-day guy. So,
okay.
But the one that the first one was a doozy. We'll put it that way.
All right, and we'll move on.
Is that a 3
now.
flusher?
Yeah.
Triple flusher?
Multiple flushes.
Multiple flushes. Full roll of toilet paper over the top, by the way. All right, over the top toilet paper.
You go over the top of the toilet paper
all day, baby, all day. People that go underneath are aliens. They don't belong in society. They're communists.
Am I the only person on the planet that doesn't have like a very vehement opinion on which way the toilet paper goes? It feels like everyone gets so angry at each other when this topic comes up, and I just throw it on there. I don't care. Does it matter?
Katie just said, and goodbye. I'm not watching.
And I'm not watching. Oh man.
Another news. Let's get.
You need to know that you have to go over the top with the TP. You have to. I'm a crinkler. I'm a crinkler, not a folder. All right. So
I will fight you all day on that. That's just lazy. That's just lazy.
I'll give you the. Okay, fine. It's lazy.
Why don't we all just get along?
Before we move on, let's finish up with our MLB talk here a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we've gone over everything with the Orioles, unless you guys had something else that we missed.
No, I think that's pretty much it. Skubal tonight, obviously pitching for Detroit. If you're not familiar, he's the best pitcher in the league right now, other than Paul Skeens, probably. He's got like 105 strikeouts and like 7 walks this year. It's unbelievable what the guy's doing. I think it's 15 strikeouts to walks. It's absolutely insane. Look forward to Keegan Aiken trying to hang with him tonight. And I'm not trying to shit on Keegan Aiken or anything, but it might be a tough go of it. But don't expect 10 runs tonight out of the O's. But we're hopeful.
Hey, he's not pitching to Skubal. He's pitching to the Tigers. So
that's true.
He's just got to hold the offense.
Yeah. He's got to worry about the offense, not the Skubal of it.
But the other thing I wanted to bring up, the Las Vegas Athletics is official. It seems like, as they just broke ground.
Really?
Well, they announced they're breaking ground on a $1.7 billion. Sorry, with a B. Stadium.
Don't.
$1 billion.
Why have millions when you can have billions?
Yeah, dude, I see you, Pig Town. Dude wipes. Any kind of wipe really is the way to go. I'm kind of I mix it up.
Yeah.
This podcast has
all
so many turns. It's unbelievable.
But yeah,
Las Vegas baseball, and now we discuss about dude wipes.
Yeah. But I mean, People are wondering after all those hot dogs, you know. But yeah, I don't think there's a ton to talk about there. I just figured I'd bring it up since they announced it. They finally made it official. It seems like.
Is it a dome stadium, Brooksy?
You know, I don't know. I'm not sure.
If I'm a betting man,
I would hope so.
In Vegas, it has to be, right? Those are going to be $105 degree days, $105 days, 105-degree days out there.
And I think I've told you guys this before. I went to the last game in the ballpark in Arlington, and I was sitting behind. I went to the last series, I should say, and I was sitting behind a couple guys who were season ticket holders. And they said Major League Baseball actually made the Rangers get a new stadium that had a dome because it was so damn hot in Arlington in the middle of July and August. So it would make total sense for Vegas to have the same kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Our parents still talk about to this day that was the hottest All-Star game that they ever went to.
Yeah.
We didn't go to that one. Obviously, I think it was 95 or 96, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell this story all the time whenever they start talking about the All-Star game, and we've had a few beverages. Like, they went and bought beers just to pour them on the seats so they could sit in the seats that hot.
Yeah.
And that's something the guys that were sitting in front of us at the time, they said that the green seats would get so damn hot that they would just sit in the concourse area.
It's brutal.
Don't love that.
And I mean, you're in stagnant air, so you're sitting there roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Houston has their retractable thing. Whatever you want to call that. Arizona's got their dome / retractable. No, are they retractable? No, they're just
Arizona?
a dome. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's.
Is it retractable?
I think it's retractable, or maybe half of it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's semi.
I would assume Vegas is going to at least be retractable, if not just a full-on dome.
It's so fucking hot in Vegas.
Yeah, but moving on from that, Shohei is. I think they said that he might get a couple innings before the All-Star break.
He's apparently ramping up pretty vehemently right now. He's been throwing these like live BP things. He touched 96, 98 in his last few the last few times he's gone out and pitched. This is, by the way, the guy who won MVP at DH last year.
And doesn't take BP.
Yeah, he doesn't take BP.
No.
Sorry,
really?
Even I learned this this past week, because Mookie Betts does a show with somebody, and I forget the name of it because I want to give them credit. He's on it's whatever with Mookie Betts. I can't remember the name of it, but they were talking about it. Like, even when they had the Japan series at the beginning of the year, they're like, he definitely took BP out there, right? Just because, I mean, he was back out there, and Mookie said no, didn't even take BP out there. Like, he literally, like, and he can't leave his room. He doesn't even want to go out and take BP just because he'll get swarmed by media and other players and everything like that. Like, he can't do, like, he's that big of a star that he can't do anything.
He's probably hitting in an indoor cage then. He's definitely.
I would assume with his team,
Yeah.
I would assume so. But I mean, he does. I mean, Mookie said he doesn't take BP, and maybe he just meant live BP on the field. But I would assume he.
I mean, he's got
to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, he's hitting off a tee. He's doing that kind of stuff, right? Like, I don't know. Do people hit off tees anymore? Is that a thing still?
Oh yeah, you watch Tom Mamansky. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, do we have anything else around the league?
Jose Ramirez, 36 game now on base streak. Which is the highest in a long time. And also Aaron Judge is hitting 394 with 25 homers. His OPS is astoundingly large, 1269. League average is like 750. So this guy is twice as good as the average player in the MLB right now.
Also, I want to harp on this. It's not because I have this guy in our home run contest. Watching Kyle Schwarber hit a home run is one of the most sexy things I've seen in a very long period of time.
He's awesome.
He hits the ball like he is a beer league softball player.
He's the modern day Matt Stairs.
Leadoff hitter.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It's like Matt Stairs and John Crow.
He's way better than Matt Stairs, but
he's Adam Dunn. He's Travis Hafner, but with career longevity.
Yeah, that's a name. Wow. A Travis Hafner reference today.
Travis Hafner was really good, dude. If you go back and look at some of the seasons he put up, I think he gets overshadowed because Tommy was there right before him.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah. Kerstad not starting today's game in Norfolk. That's bizarre. Don't like that at all.
Taxi squad, or maybe he's dinged up and they haven't said anything because they do the retroactive stuff.
It is possible he's taxi squad because the game tonight, or the game is 6:30 tonight. It's usually a getaway on Thursday, but it's a later game tonight. So maybe we'll find out more information about that throughout the day.
Good.
Without further ado, our boy has been sitting backstage here patiently for quite a while.
My man.
We're going to bring him on to talk about them Hogs.
All right.
What up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Brian, when you sent me a text and said we're going to you in 5 minutes, can we not make it 45 minutes?
I gave you a 5 minute warning. That's what I kind of meant, Joe. My bad, dude.
I mean, it's all good, but time management, you know.
I didn't mean to put you
Time
in bad
is
spot
money.
there, dude.
Yes, time is money out here. That is for sure. That is for sure.
But yeah,
we're glad you survived.
Thank you, buddy.
Are we?
Oh, fuck you guys.
I saw you shotgun the beer for me. That was very generous.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, Bo.
So,
talk to us about the College World Series, man.
So we got the 8 teams there. On our side are LSU, Murray State, UCLA, and Arkansas. The College World Series really should reseed when they go to Omaha because the luck of the draw just has the 2 best teams playing in the Saturday night game.
Yeah.
And there is no doubt. Now, Murray State's been on a heater. They're a 4 seed. It's like I think it's the 4th time a 4 seed has made it to Omaha. So I'm not going to sit here and say we should have an easy day if it's Murray State if we lose, or vice versa. If they're in the winners bracket and we're in the 1-0 winners bracket, it's an easy day to get the 2-0 because they're on a heater. They got something to prove and they're playing with house money. So I'm not putting it past them. I don't know much about UCLA. But I will say they're not SEC caliber baseball. So
ACC
whatever.
school. Who would have thought UCLA ACC school?
I mean,
They're Atlantic Coast.
Wait,
I don't get it. But
yeah, they're Big Ten.
They're Big Ten.
They're
Sorry.
Joe, pardon me. I only know a lot about Arkansas's offense. Do you have a stud like ace?
Yeah, Zach Root is doing well. He wears the number 33, which was Hagen Smith's number, and a couple other aces have worn that number at the school. So I don't know if there's significance behind that or not. He transferred in from ECU this year, and I think he has a 8-4 record. I'm not 100% sure, and like a 3.2 ERA. But that's the thing they were talking about on the radio this morning. If Arkansas loses to LSU, it's not a huge thing because we have way more depth than LSU does. LSU's only got really 2 top starters. So if they lose and have to fight for their life in the second game, the third game, they don't have pitching. Arkansas has 15, 16 stud pitchers that will just throw it lights out.
How many fucking people are on the team?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I think it's 35.
Damn.
I won't swear to it, but I think college rosters are 35.
Okay.
So
is that what
the offense?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
The offense and the pitching staff. This is one of the most quality teams we've had in a long time.
Okay.
And they're playing for DVH. They're having fun, and they're going to go fishing.
Well, I don't know what the hell that means, but okay.
Well, that's how they've been relaxing all season long. They go fishing. Cam Kozel takes everybody bass fishing. He's a big outdoors guy. So
I mean, that sounds like a hell of a day.
And the other kid, he's actually from Omaha, and his dad's the head groundskeeper at the ballpark.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
His dad actually built a replica field in their backyard for him when he was a kid.
This sounds like insider trading right here.
Field's dream type stuff.
I can't remember the name of the new stadium. It's I mean the old one's obviously Rosenblatt.
TD Ameritrade?
TJ America.
Yeah.
Ameritrade.
Okay. Pigtown wrote in here. Used to be 40 for the roster, and it's down to 34 now.
Okay,
Dusty was asking me what it was when I was in college, and I can't remember.
I was close.
Yeah,
I was at 36.
Yeah.
So, and college doesn't have the three batter rule, so pitchers get matched up all the time. They still have the shift, so it's a much longer game at times because I'd rather they had the three batter rule. It just speeds up the game a little bit. I don't like the changing pitcher every batter kind of thing, but
yeah.
So, just for familiarity with the bracket, so the two teams play each other, and then the teams who lose go into a losers bracket, and then they go back in, and whoever wins that has to beat that team twice. Right?
That's how it is.
And then that's how you get into the final, and then the final's a 3-game set, right?
3-game set.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, just clarifying for my sanity here because it's a disgusting bracket to look at, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. But I mean, I feel like brackets and all the different sports have been changing so much recently, and even playoffs.
Yeah.
In general, so I can't keep up with. I gotta look at it every year to make sure.
There's there's 4 teams. Obviously, 2 will lose, 2 will win. The 2 winners will play. The 2 losers will play. In that second game of the 2 losers, the one that loses the second game goes home. The one that wins plays the loser of the 1-0 game to see who goes home.
Yeah.
Got it. There you go.
And then you're left with 2 teams.
Yeah.
And they battle out to see who plays the other side.
If Murray State wins the College World Series, what the fuck? What the hell?
That'd be awesome.
It
would suck for Arkansas Joe, but
I'm not against it, but damn, that's so random.
I mean, like I said, I was Chanticleers in Arkansas, and now and obviously everyone's gonna be rooting for the underdog, and the coach there seems pretty cool as well.
Where's Murray State?
Kentucky, I believe.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I mean, obviously now that Murray State and Arkansas are left, those will be my 2.
Well, they're on the same side. Coastal's on the other side of the bracket.
I'm gonna do something to piss Joe off real quick. Give me a sec here, guys.
Oh, this ought to be fun. While we wait for Brian, I got a prop. We have a new.
I saw that.
You're running for sheriff now. Dusty Betts. So good, he runs for sheriff.
That is awesome. Yeah, I saw you sent that. I was like, and that was like you sent that right after I put out that story of Dusty's bets for the golf tournament, and I'm like, there's no fucking way there's a guy named Dusty Betts. That's awesome.
Apparently there is, and he's running for sheriff. So,
and he should sponsor the show. We got our
sponsor Scotty's here. I'm gonna pour him into a cup. Then
we got an ex-police officer on the show. We have a Dusty Betts segment. And if he wins sheriff, I mean, he's got to sponsor the show at this point.
And then I'm going to go with Joe's competitor, Monster.
Boom. No.
Bang biscuit.
Why would you mix Monster and vodka? Who goes to a bar and orders a Monster and vodka?
Degenerate.
Well, okay.
9 hot dogs at a baseball game.
A lot of people. I mean, that's why it's called the 999 challenge. I mean, you're not the first to do it.
Do you think
you're probably the first to mix Monster and vodka?
I guess I've probably done it.
Do you think it would be easier, Brian, the 999, if you didn't have to do 1 hot dog and 1 beer per inning? Like if you could just do 9 you can just do 9 beers, 9 hot dogs at your own pace. Do you think it would have been easier or harder?
I think it would have been easier because the weight, like I told you, in that 7th inning, that long 7th inning, that it weighed on me. Like all of a sudden, like it hit me. So
it's almost like you needed to just get it done, right?
Exactly. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
fucking bum rush this shit. I wanted to sprint, not a marathon. But
And
I get
Antonio,
the
Antonio, I see your comment. We'll I'll put out the link here soon for call-ins, but we're getting our College World Series update with Joe here.
Yeah.
But after that, we can head into that.
Well, yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to hopefully an Arkansas Chanticleer final. That would be best case scenario.
What's the other side of the bracket? We haven't gone over that yet.
So it's Coastal and Arizona play tomorrow at 1. That's the first game.
Yep.
And then the night game tomorrow is Oregon State Louisville. That's at 6:00.
Coastal's on a
That's the other side of the
22-game
bracket.
heater.
22-game heater.
Yep. And that's Jason's team. So I definitely want to beat the snot out of Coastal. As fun as it would be to take the title from Oregon State after they got us in 18, the Adley Rutschmans.
Mm-hmm.
The Adley Rutschmans, the Nick Madrigals.
Yeah. I'll gladly beat the snot out of Kidney Boy's team.
Who do we need to? We need to start tagging some things for Jason for his kidney stuff since Coastal's in the playoffs and we can start.
I mean, I've been trying to get the baseball team to pick up on it the last couple days, and
maybe a local news station. I don't know.
Joe, you were telling me you were reaching out to Coastal Carolina to see if they can do something for them.
Yeah, I tagged them in a couple tweets, and Rocco's the Jello Shots contest at Rocco's up in Omaha. They donate money to each food bank, and I suggested that instead of the South Carolina Food Bank to take Coastal's money and do kidney research. And I haven't gotten any response from them, so I'm gonna keep doing it because we'll see what happens. But they make a lot of money with those Jello shots and donate a lot of money to charity because guys will go in there and just buy 3,000 Jello shots to be on the leaderboard.
Do you know about this?
It was a big thing. Well, it's always been a big thing, but it was like they actually started making headlines here over the past couple of years about like each school's fan base is trying to outdo the other ones, and they're actually putting it out on the internet and the news and stuff like that. So we'll try to start pinging some stuff.
Yeah, we'll ping some stuff.
There's a whole I think it's CWS Jello Shots or something is the Twitter handle, and LSU goes up there and just knocks the socks off. They just like 65,000 Jello shots or some crazy stuff.
Crazy.
I mean, and I don't think they literally buy all the shots. They just donate the money and say it's for the Jello shots because who the hell could drink 65,000 Jello shots? That's a lot of.
I don't know. Brian can eat 9 hot dogs and 9 beers.
I guess I do make sugar-free Jello. So,
and I'd be interested to see 2 things. I'd like to see Brian and Kevin go in the 999 challenge because apparently Ostreicher wants to do 9 corn dogs, 9 gin and tonics in 9 innings. And I want to see
no fucking way.
I want to see a matchup
of
little Kevin versus Big Brian in 999, and I want it live streamed. Where
first of all,
we're not making Brian do it again, are we?
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make Brian do it again. First of all, unless there's some kind of a punishment, or we actually get like a real contest with Ostreicher. But the other part of this that they don't know, or that he doesn't know, Brian's specialty is drinking hard liquor.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go toe for toe with Brian in hard liquor ever. There's not many people I put against him. I don't think. And besides that, I would bet Kevin Ostreicher that he couldn't go 9 innings in just 9 gin and tonics and be awake by the end of the game. I don't think he'd drink 9 gin and tonics and get through the game. There's no fucking way.
I'll do my taxes while doing that contest, like without a doubt. Like there's no chance.
Well, you got to go with beer. I mean, make it hard. You got to stick with the beer. You can't.
I'll do anything that makes Kevin smile. So I'll do the 999 again and makes him smile, and I'll do it live. I got no problem with that, man. I mean, I'll hurt myself a little bit.
No fucking. Kevin's just a widow guy. He's not gonna. He's just a widow guy. He's not gonna get through 9 innings and 9 gin and tonics.
Man. All right, we're not throwing any more strays at Kevin.
No. We're just gonna fuck. We're just gonna fuck with Rocco. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say direct all your strays to Rocco, not to Kevin, right?
Well, that's fun. I mean,
Anybody can get
do
it.
that all day long.
Ryan can get it too.
And we need this challenge with the Bolly's bets versus Dusty's bets.
Yeah, he brought it up yesterday on the
We
show.
need to come up with some sort of punishment for the loser. And,
I'm down.
I'm
down for most punishments, not all of them.
We need to reach out to them. I saw him bring it up on the show yesterday. I only got to tune in for a couple minutes yesterday, and but they said something where like because Bali does his bets and obviously he hasn't been doing well. He's won a couple here recently, but since we do like our betting segment as well, I mean obviously they have the sportsbook sponsor. If we could figure out a way to do a Bali versus Dusty bets during a whatever the season is for or a certain time frame and do like a versus whoever has more or less, and then the guy who has less as a punishment. We'll have to reach out to them and figure that out. I think that'd be fun.
I think we're underestimating Laura here in this whole thing. I think she'd kick all of our asses and all this shit. So, and Laura, I hope you heard that. I'm representing you.
Now you're just sucking up, Brian.
Without a doubt. This is me sucking up. All right.
Yeah. Brian is a pander. That's why you've been winning these fucking these snake drafts recently.
Yeah, Brian used to do his drafts just for himself, and now he's such a catering to the audience every time.
Oh, fuck you guys, because I used to always draft with the shit I like. Fuck my white ass, all right?
Suck my white ass ball.
All right, Joe. Sorry we kept you waiting for like 40 minutes there. I'm gonna blame that on Rogers, and you can go ahead and blame it on Rogers too. I think it's his fault.
It is.
Joe, when does the College World Series start? I'm being serious.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Tomorrow
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Coastal versus Arizona, 1 o'clock on ESPN tomorrow, and I'll probably be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick before I go, we'll give you a little mental health Arkansas fact that is not the most positive thing, but I saw it on Facebook last night. 81% of the suicides in Arkansas in 2023 were from men.
Damn.
I'm definitely. I'm not at the bottom right now, but I'm definitely struggling a little bit. We're going to continue to keep the help coming, but don't be afraid. Like you guys have always talked about, to say something, see something, say something.
Yeah.
Tell a friend, reach out, and it's not a weakness. It's actually a strength. It's a strength when you admit you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been things that have just overtaken me the last couple years, and it's unfortunate that I let things get in the way of real life, but try to rebound and come back better than ever.
Absolutely. Well said, Joe. We really hope you keep seeking the help, and obviously everyone out there who needs help, reach out to your friends, reach out to a helpline.
This is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Keep fighting the good fight. And we love you, Joe. And we're always we always got your back. If you ever want to reach out and talk to any of us, you're more than welcome to.
There are plenty of sources.
Keep texting me. I'll text you. You text the boys. You got all of our numbers. We love the hell out of you, man. I know we all joke and we shit on each other, but that's our way of showing love, man. It's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
If we didn't fuck with you or who, not you in general, but I'm saying you as a whole, if we don't fuck with you, then I mean,
we don't like you.
Probably don't like you all that much. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. There's also I found out last night there's something called EA, which is like Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's emotional support for anger issues, anxiety issues, depression issues. There's actually a group that is in Maryland. There's unfortunately not one in Arkansas, but reach out. That would be a perfect place for people to go and look for help for people that are struggling with similar issues and you really don't want to talk about it in a public space. It's the same kind of 12-step program that Alcoholics Anonymous runs. So it would be in the best interest of people to look into it. I just discovered that last night. Wish I knew that years ago.
And yeah, well, okay. And Joe, I'm being so serious, and I know Brooks and Dusty are in the same boat here. If you ever make your way to Indianapolis or make it to Maryland or make it to Ocean City, reach out to us. We'll hang out with you the whole damn time and have a good time.
Yeah.
We don't got to drink. We don't got to do
For
anything.
sure.
We can go to the diner and get biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, for sure.
Or vodka and Monster.
Yeah, vodka and Monster.
Sorry, Joe.
Them's fighting words, Joe.
I know they're fighting words.
Joe's
I
gonna
won't
punch me
say,
through the screen.
Well, hey, I'll drink anything that's free when I'm not in this truck, okay? I'm not against it.
Yeah, there goes our Red Bull
There
sponsorship.
you go.
Yeah.
But
Don't
you
blow
know,
out the tires, Joe. All right, damn.
like I told you yesterday, Brian, if Dad and I would have connected on the right time frame like he originally talked, we would have been at the game there Monday and
Yeah.
hung out with you.
Oh man,
You would have been the star of the show, dude. You would have killed it, man.
It would have been
a hell of a time.
it would have been entertaining.
Yeah, but you,
All
Joe,
right.
you take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Please.
Take care of yourself. Yeah, have fun. Have fun this weekend watching your Arkansas Razorbacks. Hopefully, they can take down the Tigers, and you'll be happy, and Coach O will go home sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben McDonald on the
Always
call.
say Tigers like Coach O. Tigers. Go Tigers.
Ben McDonald on the call this week too, so it should be fun. It's always good to watch Ben.
McDonald on the call is
Dude,
awesome.
He's the best announcer in sports. I don't care what anybody says.
Is he going to
He
be?
is.
Is
I
he
mean,
going to be?
I guess Gary Thorne is still around. I still got a soft spot for Gary, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Ben is phenomenal.
Ben
Yeah,
is
you might-
great.
You might
And
get
he's
frustrated
neutral.
with Ben this weekend if
Yeah,
he's
you're gonna
going
get
to be rooting for
frustrated with-
LSU. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He is very neutral
should.
on a national broadcast like that. When he's with the O's, I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be as neutral.
Yeah.
But,
And he shouldn't be. I mean, that's his team.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. But when he's on, I mean, he calls it down the middle when it's on the college, and I give him credit for that. So
Yeah.
and he knows his stuff. He's the best.
And he's just a fun guy to listen to because he's hilarious.
And he should be in the Orioles Hall of Fame. Why the hell is Ben McDonald not in the Orioles Hall
He's
of Fame?
not?
No.
Nah.
He's got to get there at some point. Right?
It needs to be fixed. It's tragic.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
I don't know.
If Greg Olson can be in the Orioles Hall of Fame, Ben McDonald.
Yeah, I would say, I would agree with you there. And
That might
I
be
mean,
really
I know
crazy.
everyone remembers Ben McDonald from his injuries that he had, but I think we can all say that, like, dude, when he was healthy and he was right, he was a stud.
Stud. And not to mention, now he has the contributor part where he's an announcer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just makes way too much
It's
sense.
gonna happen.
I'm sure it'll happen sooner than later. We hope, at least. Do the right thing, O's.
Good right there.
But yeah, Joe, once again,
Joe,
keep
you're
back
the
to
man,
work.
dude.
Have a great day. Thank you very much once again.
I'm going
Thank
to
you,
try
Joe.
not to blow out some knees running like I'm 25 to catch up on time now. But
Again,
Just
blame
blame Brian.
that.
yeah, he
Uncle
can
Barry
pay for the rehab. It's all right.
I mean, now you know why we're late to start the show all the time.
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh, you guys. All right?
See you, buddy.
See you
Hey,
later.
buddy.
Joe. Oh man, that was Joe Racky. Go check out
Joe's
Arkansas Joe
Man, which one was it?
on
We
Twitter,
just did
Instagram.
this.
I think
There
it's
we
that
go.
one. Yeah, there we go.
Joe's great.
But yeah, College World Series starts tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. If you haven't ever watched college baseball or haven't been interested in college baseball, go check it out. It's a ton of fun to watch. So
A lot of runs get scored.
a lot of runs and a lot of excitement, and these kids hang on every pitch of
And
these
you got
games.
you got them like they got the hats on. They're like doing like the rub thing.
Oh yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff.
All kinds
Anything
of
that they can
weird
do to bring good
twos.
juju to the table.
Gotta
Right?
get twos,
But yeah. What else you guys want to talk about today? You want to
Well,
talk about the U.S. Open's underway?
Well, before we get there, we can do.
Antonio?
Yeah, well, I just put the call-in link in there. Oh shit, he got on here
He's
quick.
in. All right.
Before he joins, we don't need to talk a ton on this, but Indiana Pacers won last night.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sirs. I hate that. I really do.
Thanks, AT.
I'm rooting for Indiana,
Yeah.
and my wife was like, I think it's kind of cool, and I was like, I think it's the stupidest fucking thing I've heard. But I am rooting for Indiana. Obviously, I'm a resident there, so
Yeah. How was? Did you get to watch the game at all last night, Brian? Or did you have it on at the bar?
I did. Yeah, I had it on. I actually watched that a little bit more in the Oriole game. Just because of the TV that it was on, I constantly was walking by it. I mean, their bench stepped up big time, and I don't even know the guy who had the most points, like Murcell or whatever the hell his name is.
His name's Ben Matherin. He came off the bench and put up 27.
Daryl Morcell.
Daryl Morcell. That's a former Terp. That's a random guy.
I'm just happy that it's a decent series. Like, you're at least going to get 6 games out of this, most likely.
Well, at least 6 games now. Just based on math. We know you're the math star here.
You broke.
Anyway, moving on. Let's bring our buddy Antonio on. I mean, there's not much to talk about in that. They won. That's the first game back in Indiana. They got one more game there tomorrow night or the next night. I think it's 2
It's
games.
on Friday. Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
By the way, I want to throw this out there for all those conspiracy theorist people. If you think the NBA wants the Lakers and Celtics to win every damn championship, or the Knicks, this is the 2 smallest market teams probably, other than San Antonio. So screw you. There's no conspiracy theories here in sports.
Maybe Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte, New Orleans.
New Orleans, maybe. New Orleans could be big.
And it was on Dan Patrick's show today. It was like, what are the NBA finals that had no Hall of Famers on? That, people that are eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because there might be 0 in this series.
Well,
it's hard to say.
We got the MVP of the league in this series, though.
Yeah, I mean, he might, but that's one guy. Maybe Halliburton 2. Everything else has got 3+.
Rick Carlisle.
Wow,
there you go. There's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, how about people on the court?
Did you guys know that Rick Carlisle is the oldest coach to ever coach in an NBA final right now?
That's surprising.
He's older than Pop was. He's older than Phil Jackson was. Isn't that crazy? He would also be the 4th coach in NBA history to win the title with 2 different teams. Mm-hmm. He did win it with Dirk and the Mavericks in 2011. He left the year before they won in 2004 with Detroit. I thought he was an assistant coach, but he was the head coach of that team. He left. Larry Brown came in, won the title. So yeah, he kind of got Buck Showaltered out of his title there, but it's good for him just coaching for this long and being that steady of a good coach. But anyway, we're gonna bring in our boy Antonio here to talk a little baseball, I think.
Yeah.
What's up, Antonio?
Hey, buddy.
Good.
What's up, Antonio?
I'm doing good.
Last time I saw you, you were wearing the Gary Williams shirt, walking around Little Italy, man, having a great time.
Yeah. How's your stomach feeling, Brian?
Not well, buddy. Not well. Do you think you could eat 9 hot dogs, Antonio?
No.
No? How many do you think you could
eat?
3?
3?
Yeah.
I think it's a reasonable amount of food.
I don't think I could get through it.
My mom and dad and Debbie said hi.
Oh,
what's up, guys? How we doing, Russ? What's up, guys?
All right, guys. Nice talking to you guys.
It's good seeing you, Antonio. Take care,
all right,
buddy.
Antonio. See you, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's our buddy, Antonio. He's the man.
I don't want to give out any numbers that they raised for the Light Up Little Italy Festival that we talked about a few times with the Gill Foundation, but they did very, very, very well for themselves. And congratulations to Miss Deb and to Mr. Russ and Antonio. I mean, they crushed it. And Joe Benny's, now it's called Benny's. I mean, they crushed it. The number is – I was stunned when I heard the number, and I heard it yesterday. So awesome.
Yeah. That's what we like to hear, man. Bring all the good charity and all the good vibes we can. Last thing I want to talk about today is the U.S. Open at Oakmont.
And Dusty's bets are up on our story.
Dusty's bets are up on the story. The last thing I added to the card was Shane Lowry, who's having a little bit of a rough day today. He's +6.
What do we have going on right now?
So we did post it on the Gary Williams story on Instagram if you want to look at it, but I have it written down here. So I picked a couple guys to win. I picked like a favorite, a long shot, and like a super long shot. And then for the top 10s and top 20s, I just kind of picked guys that had good numbers either coming in or have good histories in U.S. Opens. It's sort of a combination of the two. But anyway, to win, Rory plus 1,000. I think you could have gotten him at 1,200 at some point this week. He got off to a hot start this morning. He's now +1, but still in the top 10. He's this course is eating these dudes alive. There's only 8 guys under par.
When we went live, he was like -2 or -1.
Yeah.
I just saw that Shane Lowry, who you mentioned, hold out on number 3 at Oakmont from 160 yards. First person ever to eagle the 3rd hole at Oakmont.
Awesome. He's +6.
That gets into +6.
Yeah, there are now 7 guys total under par. There are 4 guys at even. Everyone else is over par. Obviously, I think there's still way more guys that haven't teed off yet. The afternoon wave is coming. Victor Hovland, Morikawa, Scheffler, Dustin Johnson, Spieth, Rahm, Denny McCarthy, Sam Burns, Nick Taylor, Justin Thomas, Koepka. All of those guys have yet to tee off. So a lot of guys left to play. But, I mean, there is some ugly looking scorecards. There's a guy named Justin Hicks who is 13 over through 17 holes.
Is he in last right now?
He is in DFL. Yeah. There was a couple other guys.
What is DFL?
Dead
fucking last.
For those who are wondering.
But yeah, this course is eating these dudes alive. The big numbers can come quickly if you put the ball in the wrong spot. But yeah, Rory, after having a nice front 9 at 2 under, has played the first 6 holes of the back 9 at +3 over. And by the way, he's got a 290-yard par 3 coming up. So that's not going to get any easier for him. But anyway, the bets we have, Rory McIlroy, 10-1. I got him to win. You probably could have got him at 12-1. He's going to be a little bit different now. Shane Lowry, I had a 45-1, and my long shot was Tom Kim at 200-1, who's hanging in there. He's +2 through 17. Honestly, if you keep it anywhere close to even par, I think you're going to have a chance to compete on the last day. Anybody can go out there and shoot a score one day, but you really just have to be consistent around the hoop, like we say. The top 10 guys I like: Rory, 6 out of the last 6 U.S. Opens he's played, he's come in the top 10 in all 6. That's plus money at +105. I just thought, he's made 6 straight top 10s. I feel like that's pretty easy bet to make. Schauffele, same thing. We said this on the podcast the other day, but in 8 straight U.S. Opens, he has finished in the top 15. He was +175 to finish in the top 10 in this tournament. I thought that was ridiculous. Tommy Fleetwood and Shane Lowry. Also, Tommy Fleetwood just generally plays really good at these really difficult courses. He's +4, but that gets him at T35 right now. So that's not going to kill you. Honestly, it looks like
not going to hurt
based on right now, it looks like +4, +5, +6. The cut line might be down there +7, +8.
It's way too early.
It's going to be
way too early to talk cut lines. Way too early.
And then top 20s, I like Sam Burns. Had a really good week last week, lost in a playoff. He lost to Ryan Fox, who played really well last week and has been playing pretty well for the last month or so. I like him at +280 to top 20. Harris English is an auto bet. No matter what, we're going to bet him top 20. I don't care what course it is. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in America, Saudi Arabia. I'm betting Harris English to top 20. And then Cam Young is the flyer.
Nick Taylor or Harris English?
Harris English is this year is my guy. He's my horse. He is +3 right now through 16. That puts him at T25. He's tied with DeChambeau and a couple other heavy hitters there.
He's your fucking show pony, man. I mean, you were right.
Just look at the numbers. The guy finishes at 17th in every tournament. It's crazy.
I'm not knocking you. I'm not. This isn't me kidding with you. It's agreeing with you. I won't lie to you.
Anyway, those are the names I like this week. Also, honestly, I liked Phil to make the cut. I didn't bet it. I was staring at it for a long time. This might be his last U.S. Open. I'm not sure. Bri, you got something to say, obviously.
I got so many things to say right now because I'm literally looking at the live scoring, and I was about to say I'm really rooting for Gary Woodland, who was -1. Now he's +1. in the
Oh,
time that you
no.
said that.
Dude, this is what
He was
happens.
-3 at one
By the
point.
way, I just said there's 7 guys under par. There are now 5 guys under par.
It's ridiculous.
There's
And
5
Ben
guys under
Griffin.
par.
Ben
Watching
Griffin,
this
man.
move is
Ben
incredible.
Griffin, man. Ben Griffin has been one of the best golfers on the planet for 2 months. And I said his name
Nobody
on the
knows about
podcast
it,
the other
yeah.
day, and Brian said, "Who the hell is Ben Griffin?"
Who the
and I
fuck
said,
is
"He's won
Ben
2
Griffin?"
tournaments in the last 2 months.
Has Scotty teed off yet, or is he at 2 o'clock?
Scotty's a 125, so we got about an hour. He's playing with Morikawa and
Yeah,
Rahm, maybe.
I think we're all. I mean, I think everybody in the world roots for Gary Woodland, but
Yeah.
I mean, again, another one of those where we were getting on the podcast, and he was like, he had just went to -3, I believe.
Yeah.
and then
And
now he's
plus
+1.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the time Dusty went on, and I'm saying rant, I'm not saying that in a negative way. When Dusty went on that little tangent there, Gary Woodland just jumped down to what T11 or whatever. I mean, Jesus, or T9.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think even par is going to win this fucking thing. And
I wouldn't be shocked at all. JJ Spawn is at -4. He's lapping the field right now. Siwoo's at -2. So is Thomas Dietrich, who had a really good start to the year but has struggled recently. And then Ben Griffin and some guy named Thurston. Or is it Thurston? Thurston.
South American,
South African. And then Adam Scott up there, yeah, and Robbie McIntyre, another guy I love, Big Bob McIntyre. He's a lefty.
Ooh, Ludwig.
Big Bob McIntyre. Listen to you.
Ludwig must be hitting fairways today. Ludwig must be hitting fairways today because he is statistically one of the worst players on the PGA Tour out of the rough. And if you're playing out of this rough, you're not going to have a lot of fun. So once he starts hitting the ball, if he keeps hitting the ball in the fairway, he's going to be obviously a threat because he's a threat to win any tournament because he's so talented. But he struggles out of the rough. So
they said that the rough's at 5.5 inches. And the ball can get lost in the rough if you just drop it in there.
Damn, that sounds like something else. You're
easy guy.
5.5 inches and could get lost in the rough.
It's about to get off the rails here, guys. I think we need
to
finish up this podcast now.
But I did want to bring up this while we're talking about golf. Randall Chambly brought up something the other day.
Don't
that
bring
made
that
a
name
lot
up
of sense.
around me.
I never thought about it.
I do not like that guy.
That's fair, but he brought up something I didn't think about. It's Rory McIlroy obviously won the Masters, and now we all thought, he had a bunch of pressure taken off of him. His shoulders could drop down. He's going to go on a ripper and win a bunch more tournaments. It almost seems like he's lost his focus, and he doesn't want to go out and hit balls. He doesn't have that drive anymore. I'm not talking about his driver. I'm talking about just like that want to. Rory even said something about it's hard for me to go out and hit balls for 3 hours now. So I never thought of it that way because I would think you're going to win a fuck ton more tournaments after you complete the career Grand Slam. Yeah. Maybe it's the opposite.
See, this is the thing.
It's hard to win tournaments.
I would think this is one of those things. To me, this is going to be a temporary issue and not a long-term issue for Rory. And I think this is a normal thing in any sport when you accomplish a goal like this. Talk about the slow start after winning the Super Bowl, those kind of things. I feel like that happens quite a bit, especially in golf. I mean, think about Scotty Scheffler goes out and wins the Masters last year and then goes to the PGA Championship and gets arrested and he plays terrible in all the majors after that. You know what I mean? By his standards, not terrible by everybody else's standards because he's still finishing, great. But I think this is a normal thing to have a little bit of a lull after such a huge success after this. I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing for him just because the talent is too immense. And we saw it earlier today. He was 200 through the front. He missed a couple bunnies. He could have very well been up there with JJ Spawn at 4. Obviously now he's at +1, but he's putting himself in a position to hang around in this tournament, which is what he's going to do. And these golf courses that are super difficult and super demanding, these dudes who are locked in and who have this immense talent are going to stand out. And I don't think he wins this week based on just what I've seen out of him thus far this week. But I think there's a chance he's going to hang around. And I did bet him to win. I put more money on him to top 10 than to win, just because I think he's going to be around it, but I don't think he's going to win this particular tournament. But you can't write him off.
What was he at? Plus 600?
No, he was +1,000, +1,200.
What you got?
We
Go to
might have,
bank.
we might have another
All right,
bank.
I'm gonna
we
sit
might
here and
have
say
another
it.
bank.
This is a non-issue. This is the fact that it's
What
been
you got?
a month and a week that he hasn't won a tournament, and we're sitting here saying, "Wow,
What'd you get?
that's a cool box."
You got sandbox? You got kinetic sand?
Ooh,
Oh, that's
what
gonna
you
be
got?
fun. That looks fun. Are you excited? He's
Yeah.
jumping around like a hoppy.
oh, he's got Hoppy.
Right here. We're wrapping up, so
Yeah.
but I think this is a non-issue. I think this is a story. This is just a storyline because the media stuff came out recently. With all that stuff, obviously, he made a statement about it here this week at the U.S. Open. He didn't play in the RBC Heritage.
He didn't play in the Memorial at
Didn't
Jack's.
play in the Memorial, and then Jack was mad because he didn't call him,
Yeah.
let him know he wasn't going to be there. But yeah,
Brooks,
it's
you're
been
right.
a month. It's been a month and a week or something like that, or a month and a half.
You're right. This is a very small sample size, but some of the statements kind of
I
not
agree.
one to go out and hit balls, not one to do this. Being as you've said many a time, Brooks, being a bit of
Being a professional.
being a dickhead, to the media and stuff like that. It's just a little bit different than what he was doing prior to that. So look, maybe being the face of golf for a while took a toll on him. Understood. But yeah, it's a small sample size. You're 100% correct. And Brandel Chambly used the example of Ben Hogan, who completed the career Grand Slam and then won one tournament in his next 53. Now, obviously, history can take a piss, but
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Hogan a pretty old when he won that tournament? That might be, just a part of the reason that he won that tournament.
He was 40. Yeah.
Yeah, and at that point,
yeah. It gave me a different look as to how it was a different perspective. That's it.
Yeah. Look, I disagree with a lot of the stuff that Brandel says. I think he's kind of a shill for the tour, and I do agree with some of the stuff he says. For the most part, I think he's just kind of says stuff just to promote his narrative. Not that I discount what he said, but I don't think this is going to be a big issue for Rory moving forward. Maybe this year, the rest of this year is going to be a little bit of a slower year for him, but I would think going into Ryder Cup season, that fire will come back, and he's just too competitive of a guy. These guys are too competitive to not get up for those kind of events.
I agree with you.
Brandel Chambly sounds like the most private school uppity name that I've ever heard in my life.
Branford Winstonworth.
Landon Kiefer.
Brandel Chambly sounds like a wine, Laura says.
I agree.
By the way, Brooks, that's a nice looking shirt, my man.
Oh yeah.
I should have got a little one. I should have got a little one for Banksy, but I know he's growing, so
yeah,
it's not worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up here. I did want to bring up one thing, and if we had a "That's a Shame" segment on our Thursday shows, it would be "That's a Shame." That's a shame to the Bengals, and we've done this a few times on the pod. But Shamar Stewart, their number 17 overall pick in the draft, edge rusher, left mandatory mini camps because they're having a contract dispute. He's a first-round pick. It's a pretty standard contract, I would think. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson is also holding out. So these are their best two pass rushers, 100%. Their first-round pick and the best pass rusher in the league last year in terms of sacks. I just don't know what your plan is if you're Cincinnati and you're coming off the season where you missed the playoffs with one of the best offenses in the league because your defense was so abysmally bad. You won't sign the guy who led the league in sacks last year. You can't sign your first-round pick out of Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. I don't get what they're doing in Cincinnati.
This has to be that offset language shit where you get like a fifth-year option and you can get out of it or get in it.
Obviously, it's enough for him to leave mandatory minicamp as a rookie. You know what I mean? That takes some balls. Obviously, he's mad about something, right?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't got paid yet, so.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure he's mad about that.
Shit.
I don't know. Hard to say. We don't know the ins and outs of what's going on yet. So.
Hey, this is a win for the Ravens. So the Ravens already got one win in their book.
Yeah.
Well, two if you count Rodgers. Anyway, Uh, thank you guys once again, always for supporting the show, for checking out the 999 the other night, for checking out the show at the Dive the other night. Thank you to Scotty's Vodka and On Your Six Bourbon for sponsoring the show at the Dive, and we'll have hopefully some more coming up with them. And we really appreciate everyone's support. We love you, Joe. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Go Razorbacks. We're all rooting for the Razorbacks, despite what Brian might say. We're hoping for Razorbacks Chanticleers, I think, secretly, or not so secretly.
Who said that? Those are our two teams.
But yeah,
And Murray State.
But yeah, it should be a great weekend. We got the U.S. Open in Oakmont. It's Father's Day weekend. It's Air Show weekend here in Ocean City, Maryland. We're in Millsboro right now, but right down the road. So we're gonna have the Blue Angels here, giving the old Air Show, which is gonna be cool and very loud. Yeah. Other than that, you guys have any other notes before we sign off?
No, I can't say enough about Joe and him coming out and saying what he said today. It's amazing, and to hear him say what he needed to get out is great. And Joe, please take care of yourself. We all bullshit, but we care about you, man. We really do care about you. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. And I hope you guys enjoy the family time Father's Day with Mr. Glenn. I'm sure he's around there somewhere in the background.
Oh yeah.
He's at work right now. He'll be off today, and then I think he's off for the rest of the weekend. So
yeah, he'll be off at 3. So we'll get to
time.
hang out with him all night.
I've watched Brooksy have 2 beers and get redder and redder and redder and redder.
Well, we're out in like the little sunroom area, and it's hot.
It's toasty, and we're
I'm schwitzing.
Yeah. Schwitz. Anyway, guys, thanks again for listening to our Thursday edition of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture. Outros are weird. We love you.
Love you guys.
Love you. See you.